Hello, everybody. Welcome to NUFC Talk TV. We are live with an instant match reaction to the game that we just played against Wimbledon at St. James's Park. I'm gonna get you my first thoughts here in a minute, but what I want to do is throw the link out there immediately for any. Let me do it again. Actually, throw the link out there for any callers that may. Oh, damn it! I want to type in a message first. Jesus. You can call in and have your say. No camera needed. And of course, for 5 minutes or so, or less, 2 or 3 minutes, whatever. And yeah, have your say about the match. What did you think? Our performance was. There you go. The link is pinned in the chat now. Make sure you hit the like button, please. Help us support the channel. Help us, get more Newcastle fans involved and interested in the channel by simply hitting the like button. My first thoughts on the game are pretty simple. I mean, we got the job done. That's what we essentially wanted to do. So that is a positive. But I can't. I mean, it was a boring game. And obviously we expected more. But we just with the lineup in itself, it wasn't. It is what it is. I wasn't happy or unhappy. To me, it made sense that we weren't going to play, every single starter that we can possibly play with. But I just thought that this team should have played better, I guess you can say. Again, like I said, we advanced, so I don't even know what to feel. I don't think I'm happy or unhappy. I mean, I guess I'm happy that we're advancing. So that is, but there's a sour taste in my mouth, I guess you can say, about this performance. I expected more, but the fact that we needed to play Gordon, I didn't understand the changes for a good part, because at halftime, we Livramento went on the left, Kraft on the right. He subbed out. I didn't understand the changes, to be fair. Didn't understand the changes at all. Gordon came on, and then afterwards, Gordon came on for Joe Linton. And then Lewis Hulk ended up coming onto the pitch. But if you wanted to make a change there, why didn't you just put Lewis Hulk, at halftime, or Gordon at halftime? Why have to play other? I just didn't understand it. But let me bring on to have their say on the game. We got Lewis. I see Andy as well in the background. Lewis, how you doing, mate?
I'm fine. I'm just walking back from the ground.
Well, what do you think?
Awful game. It was awful. 1 second.
Yeah. No,
as an ambulance goes past.
There we go. We're gonna meet you there, man. Because Lewis is getting arrested outside of St. James's Park.
We got more, but we didn't.
Yeah.
But we got the win into the next round, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. But you got to admit, it was an awful game to watch, man.
And I know. Obviously, I'm sorry about the traffic. Obviously, I'm walking back
you good, mate?
road.
You good, mate? You good?
As I said, we got the next round, and roll on Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea. Surprisingly enough, we're going to play Chelsea multiple times coming soon in the Premier League and the Carabao.
I'll speak to you later, Chris.
All right, man. Well, you take care of yourself, brother. Walk safe. Have a good trip back home. We'll see you later. Really, really interesting take. We're going to get into your comments as well. We got Andy Bell in the show as well. Andy, how you doing, mate?
Good, lad. Totally agree with you. I don't get the changes there. I think without being a pessimistic fan, you would turn on and say, well done to Wimbledon for dealing with it. But I'm finding it hard to establish what they actually dealt with. We didn't offer much at all, really, first off. The penalty, I didn't even realise the penalty had been given until Shaw put the ball in the spot.
Mm-hmm.
That was worrying, in my opinion, Chris, because the pattern continues. We're getting over the line, but we're staggering over it, aren't we? Totally agree with you. Why Hall came on and gave her a bit of width. I definitely agree with you on that. But hard game for Sula as well. I thought he was very isolated. He did really well in moments. But against MK Dons, we've got to offer more than that going forward. That was we've not for me. I can't remember a clear opportunity other than Miggy at the back post, Joe Willock with a blocked shot. And other than that, I mean, you're clutching at straw. Okay, Asula went through from Miggy's pass early on in the first half. I'm with you and a lot of people in our WhatsApp chat. I think that was a ball fest. But it is a clean sheet, and we're in the next round. And we won't be the first team, and we won't be the last team to get a poor result early on in the cup. That's went on and done well in the cup.
Yeah, I agree with that to a certain extent, but I mean, here's the thing, man. We just make it too hard every time, man. Every game that we say we should be able to beat this team, we just. Why do we have to make it so hard, man? Why can't we ever just beat the hell out of a team for the sake of it? To me, it's just it may be done to the tactics or whatever, but. Thank you to how do you say that, Nigel Nurse, being a new member of the channel. Appreciate that, mate. Thank you so much. Actually, I've never seen Nigel on the show on the chat in itself, but you just became a member. Appreciate that, mate. Got exclusive content for you. Every show should be available for you. A lot of them are live, but we'll go to the members vault for members only. So, and also exclusive content. So welcome, mate, and thank you for becoming a member. But why can't we make our lives easier, man? I mean,
when you make it difficult for yourself, though, Chris. I mean, we've seen it towards the end of the game. Tino was pulling up cramp, getting a knock. Then Gordon went down. There was someone else went down as well. My argument is, if the game's a little bit more comfortable, you have the luxury of taking off the players that you need for Everton on Saturday earlier. We've made that. We've had to bring on the big guns because of the worry. We only had a 1-goal lead. Anything can happen. They were banging in long throws towards the end. Anything can happen. You can get a deflection, a fault to one of them. It could come off Shaw's arse, or you never know. And when you make games like that difficult, these little things catch up with you. So yeah, for me, I'm starting to get to the point where I've always been in the how in camp. I'm not saying how out. No way. I'm not saying that. But things have got to improve soon because we've got a run coming. Everton have just picked up the first win, and when you look at the form going into that, they were 2 up in the previous 2 games. Yes, okay, they got beat, but they're showing that they can score goals, showing that they're competing in games, and it's not a fixture we've done well in the last few. We got beat off them in February, late January. Yeah, we need better. The performances have got to improve, and the general play's got to improve. I get that Joe Linton's not a controlling midfielder, and we were always going to be a little bit more direct in the first half. The play wasn't going to be as intricate as it is when Bruno's on the pitch. But there was nothing. We were just playing in front of them and just sending it sideways. It was starting to annoy me when Harvey Barnes was kept cutting inside and then playing the ball back to Lloyd Kelly. Like, what's the matter with running? What's the matter with running the win back into the box? Stop trying to cut in and whip it in on your right foot. We know you're good at that. What else have you got?
By the way, the link is pinned in the chat. Anybody who wants to come on, have their say, have your opinion. Yeah, get yourselves on. We need people to call in. And you don't need a camera. You can just do it from your phone if you need to. The link, just hit the link in the description. I mean, not description, but the chat is pinned in the chat. And by the way, because this stream was scheduled for the first time around when we were playing away, I had Wimbledon, Newcastle, and I had put the score as if Wimbledon had won. But I just fixed that. Is Newcastle 1, Wimbledon 0, of course. So my wife just literally texted me, it looks wrong. So there you go. We just fixed it. But let's read some comments. Vendetta, we will win nothing with Howe. I'm more convinced after that performance than any point yet. We are supposed to be going for silverware in the cups, and that looked half-arsed from start to finish. He also says 120 minutes, no goal from open play.
Yeah.
You do have a point. Veerbiken says we control the game from beginning to end. That is also true, and I think that they can both coincide, to be honest, because, I mean, we control the game, but again, as I was saying in the beginning of the match, we look like a team that knows that we are better than Wimbledon, and we are playing, passing the ball around, doing it that way. However, when are we going to go from that to, okay, let's win this match? Let's actually win it. Let's get it done. The whole time, look, yeah.
Of course, Chris, game management comes in. You don't want to overexert yourself when you've got an important game in the league. But you've also got to offer a threat at some point. I mean, we had no threat in the first half up until we got the penalty. I can't honestly remember, other than Miggy playing a ball through to Asula, anything. And I mean, anything. I mean, when you're asking Longstaff to be the orchestrator on the right-hand side, we're trying them triangles, weren't we? That Trippier and Miggy were doing last season and the season before. And it just was not happening. Livramento, every time he tried an overlapping run, Miggy's ball was poor, or the ball from the midfielder was poor. Longstaff would get into the box. He'd then get pushed outside the box, would recycle it. It was just, it was game management. And I suppose in Eddie will turn around and say, we're getting a 1-0 win. Thanks, mate. I'm not boring you. We'll get a 1-0 win and a clean sheet. You would take that all day. Of course you would. But at least, I feel sorry for the lad. I mean, my mate Lee's taking his little in there to get today. And I'm betting the little in was hoping he was going back home to kind of bed, so he's got school in the morning. You know what I mean? It was poor.
Right. Well, Paul, what are your takes, mate? Boring, wasn't it?
I'm just going to get the up my eyes. Wake up my 90-minute nap I just had.
God damn, it was tough doing the commentary, man.
Wow. I mean, it just shows that our second string, we cannot get injuries.
Yeah.
Because my God, I mean, there's no fun of ball. That's the biggest problem for us. Wimbledon, I mean, you have to give them credit. They've defended with their lives. They put heads in the way, everything in the way. So I'm not gonna give them no credit, because that's harsh. And they've come and tried to get a 0-0 and get to penalties. Fair play to them. But we were lucky as well. If they weren't rash in that thing with a penalty, we'd be at penalties now.
Yeah.
So it's just, Osler. I feel sorry for Asula.
Yeah.
What service has he got?
Every time, it's crazy. Every time he had the chance, he was going for it. He was going for it.
Isaac has the same problem when he plays for us. He looks isolated. He looks lost. So we still haven't figured that out, how to involve a striker. Oh, I mean,
is anybody else annoyed that Shaw took the penalty off him?
No, he's one of the main penalty takers for his country when he wasn't retired. He was a penalty taker. I think he's just after Isaac and Trippier for penalties as well, in the order of Newcastle people that take it. So I think it's just one of those where he's a seasoned guy. You don't want to kill Asula. If he misses it, it's.
I think if it had been 1-0 up, he might have let him take it, mightn't he? He might have let him take it. Yeah, I just thought it might have done his conference a bit of good.
Yeah.
I see your point, though, Paul. I mean, I see both sides. I was just a little bit disappointed that Asula wasn't on it.
Yeah, I mean, he probably would have wanted it. And again,
but he's still, the young guy. He's not gonna, has no say basically. He has no say in that. If Cher's telling him I'll take it, he'll just say whatever.
When a Swiss penalty taker that scored in the Euros and the World Cup, he's not getting that off him. He's not getting it off him. But
and I tell you what, that's some penalty. I mean, I know the level, and I know it's a League Two side, but he did make the goalkeeper look a bit stupid.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree.
He passed it into the net.
Some comments here. Clarkey, excellent performance tonight. Bring on Chelsea. Well, we were better than Wimbledon. That's no doubt. I mean, we scored once. What if the question can remain though? What if we never got a penalty? What would have happened? Because we couldn't penetrate Wimbledon's defense. We couldn't.
They came with. I mean, look, we've had this problem. It's not just Wimbledon. Any team that plays a low block against Newcastle since before even Eddie Howe. Before Eddie Howe, we've had this problem for bloody years where we can't seem to figure out a low block. We get stuck. We get what's going on here. Was it? I think it was Bournemouth when Bournemouth were relegated, and we played them. Was it in the? I think that was in the Carabao Cup or FA Cup. Someone will know exactly. And we only won that because of a header that was no goal. That was literally the only reason we went through that round was because it was an own goal. We were awful that whole game, and it was a header from I think it was Bournemouth or someone who was not in the same league as us. And it took a ball to be headed in by their own player to us to get through that round. And I remember being pissed off with that.
Was that Blackburn? No, it wasn't.
It might have been Blackburn. I remember it just being.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I can kind of say it. I think we tried to play a little bit more centrally, didn't we? We tried to create things centrally and then go out wide. It just was not happening. It just was not happening. They stuck to the plan, didn't they, Wimbledon? You've got to give them credit. There is levels to the game. They're a League Two side, and they did. They can hold their heads up. But I just think I'm sure Wimbledon may be sitting back in their dressing room going, I expected a bit more than that.
Yeah.
Well, Wimbledon had a game plan that was not to allow. Even with when one goal up, they knew it's only a 1 goal difference, one goal. We can squeeze that in. We go to penalties, and it's And I thought if you're gonna analyze the game, if that happens, you got to admit that this is not a good performance. And so I knew that we were better than them the whole time. That was never a question. However, I felt more like at some point you had to be able to say, you know what, let's kill this game off. It is. I mean, how many levels are Wimbledon down?
2 leagues below us.
Come on, man.
Are the League One or League Two, Paul?
League Two, yeah.
League Two. So you've got the Premier League, Chris. Then you've got the Championship. Then you've got League One. Then you've got League Two.
Exactly. So come on, man. I mean, but
we said this we were here against Cambridge, Chris.
Yeah, and Stevenage.
His first game in the club, and we were like, "Oh, we're going to batter them," and we lost 1-0.
Yeah,
so it was under Shearer. When we had Shearer up front, we lost to oh god, how was it? It was someone ridiculous. Was it Darlington or something like that? Oxford. We lost 3-0 with Rafa. Mitrovic had one of the worst games I've ever seen him play in my life.
Stevenage, we went to a replay, if you remember. Your first game back, you got a header at the back post. I was just in nipper then, I remember that. And then we went to a replay and he gets 2. But Shearer was a difference that day, if you remember. I don't know if you remember it, but we know that these slip-ups, I mean, they took the Premier League team, I can't remember who they played, but I know it was a Premier League team, took them to a penalty shootout and won on a pen. But they didn't, other than a few little bursts, the strikers held the ball up quite well in moments, but they never really threatened, did they? They never really committed people going forward. And I think, obviously, that didn't help the game because like you said, mate, it just sat in, and we didn't have an answer for it. We had no player that was willing to gamble going past that first defender to get them to panic. You've got to get them to panic at some point. That's where the levels are found out. When you get past the first defender and their formation breaks, we had nobody that was willing to do that.
Well, so I'm happy we won, but I couldn't even celebrate properly against the penalty because I didn't know what the hell was happening. The referee decided to call it. I don't know what was happening there. Referee looked out of shape too, man. What's the matter with him?
We must have a secret VAR that told him that it was a penalty. I mean, it was a pen. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it was.
What's the linesman doing? Not flagging? What was he staring at? The flags or something? I mean, just standing there watching stars or something.
Yeah. Let's get some comments, man. Vendetta, none of our second string players deserves to be anywhere near the first team after that. We will get torn apart playing like that by a decent team. Eddie Bowl is no different than to Bruce Bowl. Whoa, that's a hard take. Jens says we can't play against low blocks, 95 minutes dominance, and 4 shots on goal. Awful game.
Yeah.
Well, that's one way to look at it. James Cuff, tough watch, but nearly 80% possession, 12 shots, and only 2 shots with none on target conceded. The scoreline doesn't reflect our dominance, to be fair. Vlachodimos man of the match. Vlachodimos had 3
Yeah,
touches,
better-
man.
He's better at distribution than Pope, I tell you that.
Oh, did you see Dubravka? When he was, I
Honestly,
thought Dubravka's like, I'm gonna show them what I can do with my feet. He was
needs
showing
to-
himself. Wasn't he? He was definitely trying to.
Fine.
Yeah. Which last season though, people were saying the defense is not comfortable with Dubravka. You know, they don't want to give him the ball. What the hell with Pope? They definitely don't want to give him the ball. Yeah. I thought Pope was better, to be honest, than Dubravka. You know, but
he's better at him at a lot of things. But with
no,
his,
as far as feet, yeah, playing with their feet is what I'm
yeah,
saying.
with his feet, no.
I think it's his first touch, isn't it? When the ball's played in with pace, it's his first touch out of his feet that you go, oh shit, and then when he's getting pressed, you're like, just get rid. I agree. I think Ollie's touches, but his feet's better. Is he a better goalkeeper? That's yet to be decided.
Right.
You watch Man City and you just think it's ridiculous. He's back heeling and it's just like, what is this? What is
Yeah. Queen of Heart, the halftime show was sponsored by Howe's impressive ability to confuse the fake out of you. There you go. Yeah, with those changes had me like, whoa, what is going on? Toon Nut says, great win. We were all over them. We were. I mean, we were.
Yeah, we were, but
we were basically doing this, passing the ball around from left to right on their side. So I guess that's controlling the game. But
has anyone ever seen that video of the American police trying to boot in a door and they're standing there for 10 minutes trying to get into the door, but they don't get through the door? That's what that felt like to me.
Yeah.
You're just banging your head off the door and not getting through.
That was the famous Simpsons episode when they show the is it Colombia versus Brazil, and the commentators going, passes to centre back, passes to the centre back.
Yeah. Shout out David Lee. Thanks for coming on the show, man. Appreciate it, David Lee. Matt, the only way that game could have been entertaining would be if we played it at Wimbledon's golf ground. Hey, good touch by Wimbledon fans, man. They're thanking us.
Well, they were class, yeah.
Yeah. Beer Viking. What's with all the negativity? We had a game plan and executed it. Like a Beer Viking, the happy clapping self. Beer Viking. Look, if that's the game plan, though. Man.
Can we all agree that Lloyd Kelly is not a left back now, please?
Well, I never want to put him as a left back, but Eddie might. But see, that's when you know, because Eddie started making these changes that didn't. I don't know if he thought him through or what, but like he put Kelly in the middle at halftime, and then who was it on the? Who went on the left? Livramento.
Yeah.
And then Kraft back on the it was kind of. Anyways, but welcome, Tim. How you going, mate?
Oh, mate. Hi guys.
You doing all right?
Aye, Connie, thanks. Just thought I'd put on a quick say.
Of course, man.
Because that game there was kind of what I've been saying for a long time about the way the game is in general. So, like, one of you said, I think it was the word gamble. Do you know, like, would no teams gamble these days? So, on the face of it, that game was fine. In today's climate, controlled the game, dominated the ball. But in terms of taking those gambles, in terms of having those shots and having those crosses, like it's just not there. And again, I wouldn't necessarily pin that completely on Eddie Howe and the players. It's more the climate of football these days. You're having these triangles, down the wings and the channels, and instead of a first-time cross, it just go back, try and score the perfect goal. And there's so many times when you're playing low block like that, you need to just test defenders. It doesn't have to be a perfect ball. Just make the defenders defend. And you know what? They might make a mistake. They probably will make a mistake. And then you can score goals. So that's why I pull my hair out so much in modern day football these days. And it's not that I'm saying you need to be route one, long ball. It's nothing like that. You can mix it up. So, we've got the win. We're through. Brilliant. And again, I don't want to kind of hammer Eddie Howe and the players so much. It's more a commentary on football in general these days. I think I'd like fans in general as well to kind of start saying, you know what, like, let's see a bit more goalmouth action, please. We're paying money for these tickets and you're trying to play and score the perfect goal. We're not Man City. trying to get there. But come on, a bit of common sense, because you got teams in League One, in Championship, and that. Not Wimbledon tonight, but teams lower down, even they're trying to play a tick-tacker out the back. So like every club's trying to play this one way, and I just find it like infuriating.
Middlesbrough guilty of it as well.
Oh, there.
Yeah. Which,
Yeah.
but you would expect us to do a lot more of what you, Tim, is saying about crossing when you got Osula in there.
Yeah.
You would expect more of that.
Exactly.
But we didn't.
I see Osula who's making runs, and fair enough. The odd time we're trying to pick him up, but there was times he'd make a run in behind, and whoever it was, Longstaff, Willock, would have the ball and then just turn and go inside, and Osula would stop, and you'd see him. He's offside now, and he's like got his hands up, saying like, "Why don't you play us in?" It might not have worked, but it might have. And I think people see it as, if you give the ball away, it's like, oh my God, disaster. You've got to keep the ball, but you can't just keep the ball for the sake of it. Sometimes it'll come off when you play through a ball across. Sometimes it won't. But like you said, you've got to have that gamble and just see.
If you're trying the right thing, then you're not doing anything wrong, are you?
No.
Especially if the one ball works, okay, you might not score from it. The defender is going, hang on, I need to keep an eye on him now, and I'm going to have to drop in. You push them to the back. I can't agree with what you said more, and it's a football problem, not just a Newcastle problem. It is what happened to just having I'm going to take you on, and if you tackle us, you tackle us, but if you don't, I'm going to get the ball in the box, and let's see what happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You mentioned it a few times when I was watching your live commentary. I don't know who needs sacking, but whoever plans our corners, get the fuck out the club. Fuck off. Because you're an idiot. Why are we obsessed with short corners that do nothing?
They never work, man. I'm telling you. I don't think.
Just say we got a penalty from a short corner.
No, but the vast majority I see in football overall, I think that's another thing that's taking over football. These short corners that end up in nothing. Literally, man.
I don't mind the short corner in general if it's actually crossed eventually. Like, so you play it short to get the better angle, and then you cross it. Okay, I've got nothing against that. I think, to be fair, that's probably the best thing, more often than not. But it's when they play it short and then pass it again and again, and it's like all of a sudden
it's not a corner no more. Yeah, exactly.
Then they get caught offside because they played the back of the player that's played the corner, and it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I agree with that. Vendettas is the issue with us is we don't play a number 10, so trying to play through the center is damn near impossible against deep defense.
I think he's going back to what I was saying before about playing through the middle, and he's bang on. We need a 10. We need a 10. If we're
this is going to be controversial, but Almiron is a 10 by birth. He's never played a 10 here. However, earlier in this game, he had a number 10 play where he gave it to Osula. Osula almost got it done. But that's what Almiron can do. Never play him there. But then again, we get into the tactics of to the conversation of Eddie changing formation, and that will never happen no matter what. He lacks 4-3-3, and it's that's the way he goes.
And it's an ideal game, isn't it, Chris? Like you said there, you give him an opportunity in the 10 position because he's going to be allowed extra space against MK Dons. And the one time he did get his space, he played an actual good pass. But honestly, in the middle of the pitch, we were so bad.
Yeah. David Lee, Chris, do you think Lacademia should be number 2 and not Dubs? No, I like Dubs more, but now that he's hurt, he should be number 2, Lacademia. I like Dubravka more than.
Trafford should have been number 2 if we were bothering to do anything in the window.
Exactly. We never did, though. We never did. Jordan for life. This team has never played together. You can't just wave a magic wand and get them to know each other's style of play. A hard watch, but we are through.
What's the point of training then?
That's what I was just about to say.
What's the point of training? Yeah. If you know there's 11 starting, I hope there's some training that goes on.
Yeah, no, that is true. That is true. And good to remind people, MK Dons are a different team than Wimbledon. Yes, but I think isn't the original Wimbledon became MK Dons though? I think when they were forced.
MK Dons before.
Yeah. So and then the new and then they moved away. I think, but anyways, that's for Wimbledon to the Wimbledon Talk TV. Colton Connor, we play countering football.
Yeah, I know what Tottenham's saying. We do better with a team that comes onto us, and then we break. It's something. It's a strong point of our game where we rush teams. Another thing we never really cut well with was when we have a lot of the ball. We seem to run out of ideas when we have too much of the ball as well, which is something that Fulham did to us. Fulham let us have the ball a lot because they knew that if they broke on us, we were kind of done. So it's a tactic that's worked a few times against Eddie Howe in particular, where teams let us have the ball for too much. I remember the opposite of Fulham when we beat them 3-0 and we had 28% of the ball or something stupid. Let them dominate and just kind of scored on the break and all that sort of stuff. So it's one of those things where we have to find different ways. As you said, Chris, Eddie's very stringent on his plan, but in this modern day in football, you have to have different ways to win different games. We've done all right with winning games ugly, like we did today, and we've done that in this season. The Fulham game was one kind of where we didn't get away with it. Man City was a better performance. Something about that game. We always team up for Man City at St James's, whatever. It's great. But the big thing is we've got a horrible away game at Everton now. Horrible game. We're always crap at bloody Goodison Park. And the last thing I want is them to have any happiness this weekend. I want us to thrash them 7-0.
Yep.
5 penalties.
Yeah.
Stephen Harker can't play against the low block with a creative 10 wings. 10 wings aren't the way low block is. 20 players in the final third need creativity. I'm kind of lost.
Isak could play further back. Isak could play number 10 and
he could.
Sula in front of him. Like you said, Chris, Eddie's not going to deviate from 4-3-3, I don't think. But if it was me, I would mix it up in certain games that way. And to me, there's no reason why those two couldn't play together. Again, with modern day football, if you go back years, you used to have the likes of Bergkamp, Sheringham, who would drop back in. So it wasn't strictly 4-4-2. And Isak's got the skill to kind of move between the lines and play that role as Sula can run in behind. So it's a definite option, but I just don't think Howe will do it.
We've got to look into it as well. I don't know if you watched the press conference for the Man City game when Craig Hope asked him about how do you fit in Harvey Barnes and Anthony Gordon in on the left when they both feel that they play best off the left. And his next question was, how do you get the best out of Alexander Isak? And he went, look, we're going to have to look into it because we're not getting the best out of him. When have we seen Isak at his best in moments when he's not involved in the game? On the left.
Yeah.
So he may have another problem. If Isak's not getting involved in striking, I say this as Callum Wilson might get fit after the international break. Is it going to be a case if you go Gordon on the right now, Isak on the left, and Callum Wilson up top? Obviously, not straight away because he's not going to be fit, but I can see Isak going out on the left in the future for Newcastle if we get a proper line.
I wouldn't be surprised at all because that'll mean you can keep the formation, but like you say, get Isak more involved. But for me, I think it'd be really harsh on Harvey Barnes, and for me, Barnes will be first choice left. I think he's got the quality in the final third when it matters, when it comes to a cross or a shot. And I think Barnes deserves a long run this season, so he might have the odd poor game here and there. But Gordon had the odd poor game here and there. He kept his place last season, so I think Barnes, the way the season started, deserves that run. And I've said a million times that I just don't see why Gordon can't play right and use his raw pace to go on the outside as well. And I think it's the best of both worlds. And then you could have Isak. Henry for Arsenal all those years back, they played the two strikers. So when Henry went further back, he went left. But he could do that because he knew he had another striker up front and he had a left winger like Perez to play with as well. So we could do that as well. But you got Barnes left, Gordon right, Isak 10, Sula top with Bruno Tonali.
Yeah, I would play I would do 4-2-3-1. That's my favorite lineup. I think it would be good because what I saw from Osula today was somebody that doesn't care in a good way. Somebody you give him the ball, he will look for a shot. And that's what you want in a center forward is Mighty Win wants to call it, the proper center forward. Well, get it in, man. Get it done. But I don't think Eddie will care about it. Go on.
He's definitely more of that mould, though, isn't he, Chris? I mean, he rolled a defender. I know it's a League One defender, League Two defender, whatever it is, but it's still a human being. If you're able to take the ball that quickly and roll and hit it that hard with your left foot, he's a little bit further out there. I don't think the keeper's anywhere near that because he's going right across the goal. You know, they're the type of things that if he keeps doing, he will get goals from, and that's his weak side. So what he's able to do and what he'll learn to do is bring others into play. And when you've got attacking players like Gordon, Isaac, Harvey Barnes, Bruno, Joe Linton, and whoever we may bring in, Willock's a threat when the game's open. I struggle to see what Willock brings when a team sits in because his threat is transition.
It's in behind.
In my opinion.
That was another surprise. He put Joe Linton as a left wing. I was like, whoa, what is going on? I mean, I know he's done it before, and just because I was looking at the changes and how that was going in my head, I'm like, well, Joe Linton probably will play left wing, but I don't think he's that good at that, So I said something along those lines, and sure enough, he was playing left wing, but that didn't last long. He understood. He made that mistake, and so 15 minutes, 10 minutes later, he makes the changes. Gordon comes on. I didn't think Gordon was busy, but I don't think he was very clear on what he wanted to do. Lewis Hall, he tried to do it. I don't know. Again, we were better than Wimbledon. That's not a question. We deserve to advance. We advanced, and obviously we're happy. But we, I don't know. Against Chelsea, that might not be. And also Chelsea's not going to sit back like Wimbledon did. So that's another thing.
It'll be a completely different game, and
it'll be a different game.
And you got whether it depends on what's going to happen when you're near the time. Chelsea going to be involved in more games or whatever. Are they going to have injuries? Are we going to have injuries? Are we both going to make changes or not? There's been a lot of caveats to that game, because Chelsea have got a blooming army of people they can bring on. They've got blooming two different squads that they can play in one game itself. So it's one of those where you just don't know what Chelsea are going to do on those sort of days where if they've got other things going on. It's a bit like Pep, hasn't it? He's already kind of said that he doesn't really care about this competition. He's going to put out a different, a second string side, which is still good when it's Man City. And if they're out, he doesn't particularly care.
I think the thing we've got to look at as a positive is based on the way we're playing, at least because we're playing Everton away, Everton have got the pressure from the crowd to have a go at us. So it might create spaces. Bearing in mind that Dyche is under pressure, if they sit back and we nick one and then we build some momentum, he's going to be under the cosh a bit. So Everton's got to show something and they've got to come out that might draw us into the game.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go.
I'm not optimistic, like.
Yep. Let's go with some comments real quick.
Howe quotes if you want them.
What was that?
I've got some Eddie Howe quotes if you want them, Chris.
Oh yes, please.
Yeah, and we're definitely gonna put that on the channel when we get the option to do that. But go on, give us something.
So he said, "I'm very disappointed we couldn't put more than one past them and more of a show, an attacking sense. It certainly was our intention to attack. We didn't create anywhere near enough chances, and we did not entertain. It didn't turn out to be that kind of game, and I apologise for that. The performance was not where we wanted it to be. There's always potentially a difficult game. Credit to Wimbledon, who have defended very well. A deep low, very narrow on the ball. We were a bit slow and lethargic today."
Wow. Apologizing for it. Damn. It's not that deep.
I think he's seen that's he's seen that's a bad performance. You threw and it's whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah. Brian Quinn, the service to our strikers needs to improve. Yeah, I say the same thing about Isak as well. People say he doesn't not playing good, but he's there to do a job, and he needs to be questioned on whether he can score the chances that are created for him. If you create nothing, he can't score. He can score. It's simple. Random access, the right result, but certainly not a great result when a chess master just manages to beat a rank amateur by the skin of his teeth. There's nothing to celebrate. Jordan for life. It was just like a preseason game. We are through, and they never looked like scoring, so bring on Chelsea. Well, yeah, that is true.
Totally agree there.
To not did Wimbledon have a shot in the second half? I must have watched a different game. We won comfortably.
No, they
think we had one low.
came at us near the end. Right near the end, they did have a go.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it was never. See, again, we look at Wimbledon, yeah, Wimbledon, but we need to look at ourselves. That's the thing. Yeah, that's the big. It's us. Well, there's Roy. Roy, how's it going?
Greetings.
What's up, man? What's your take on the game?
Well, I'm still up, which is surprising after watching that. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. We won and win the second round, so it's
Well, what's your take on the game, though?
game. It was dull and job done. Really, nothing else.
Yeah.
Few players we knew they're not going to perform, and they proved us right. I don't know. Joe Linton wasn't that good as well. Well, Lacadema's got a clean sheet, so that's highlight of the game. And I thought Miggy wasn't bad. Miggy wasn't bad, to be fair.
Yeah, Mickey was okay. Yeah.
No, Mega was good, man.
Yeah, long stuff.
He
I'm
was
not
terrible.
sure why Barnes. I don't know why Barnes came off.
Yeah, I didn't understand that one either because he was the only one that created a few chances that we could have scored.
You guys got anything to do with Saturday?
Maybe.
Yeah,
Hopefully he's saving him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't start him. I wouldn't start him. I will always start Murphy now on the right and Gordon on the left. If Isaac's fit, he's always been better coming on. I was a sub. So,
No, Harvey Barnes is good, man. You're tripping.
yeah, unless he's got a knock. I hope it's not a knock or anything.
No, God, yeah, it'd be awful.
Well,
yeah.
the broadcast heard. I don't know if that matters much, but he took
What
a
is
nasty
the
hit.
Broca's injury, by the way? Because
he kind of got
That's
knocked
how
in
we
the
got
knee.
in it.
I think he took a hit on the knee, and he just never felt good.
The quote I saw there from Eddie said it doesn't look good either. So that might be a few months on the sideline for Dubravka, but it looks well. He might be playing anyway, but
Pope never. I mean, he seems to be good. So
probably
Yeah.
just as well. We've got all these goalkeepers.
and I thought Blackademos was decent for whatever 3 shots he took.
Yeah.
Not even shots though. They're like just laying down.
Rollbacks.
Yeah, roll back. But
I like
who
his
else?
foot control. His foot control was really nice.
Yeah, I did get glimpses of that. Yeah. You're right. Shout out to Magpie Salute. Haven't seen you in a minute, Magpie Salute, with your Superman picture. Says it was a boring performance, dominated possession. My concern is we never look like scoring. Well, again, I get into the same thing, because it's not that I expected us to beat Wimbledon 10-0. What I expected was us being more proactive, like saying this game is not done. Let's win it. Let's kill it. You know what I mean? And we never actually show that hunger, which is just a bit concerning, I guess you could say. But
I'm with you, mate. I think the only 2 times that we had their defenders panicked was the ball over the top of Miggy when he skied it over the bar, when he's taken it down and skied it, and the time when Osula went through. Other than that, I think their defenders probably just kind of went, we've had a comfortable, all right, we've lost the game 1-0 to a penalty, but we've not hung on, we've not, backs to the wall. Okay, they were deep, but they weren't backs to the wall, jumping in front of balls and stopping shots. And okay, they blocked the shot from Joe Willett, but it wasn't desperate, was it? The sense for me is against a team like that, you should be showing your dominance a little bit better, and we didn't. Whether it was because we just wanted to save energy, I don't know, but it wasn't impressive.
It was all in front of them, wasn't it? And like you say, it's a win's a win, and we're through. But if it's all in front of them, I think there was urgency there, but urgency to try and score the perfect goal. So you're playing these short passes all the time, and you're not getting anywhere. So there's no goal mouth action, and so they are kind of trying. And again, we're through, but there's just a lack of cutting edge on the edge of the box when it comes to shots, when it comes to crosses. And just what you said there, the biggest chances were balls over the top and on first time balls in behind. And Wimbledon defenders kind of, it was just all in front of them. They had it easy in that way, apart from those times. I mean, to be fair with Howe, it's interesting comments from him, because that's quite strong, that, isn't it? Even though we've won, it was comfortable.
Yeah.
Only 1-0, but it was really comfortable. But he's came out and said that. So, fair play in that way, in that he's got standards and he's trying to say to everyone, look, we have to meet those standards, and we've won, we're through.
Right.
But we need. So is he asking the players to try and play a certain way to score a certain goal, or are the players overthinking and playing too many passes? It's who is it? And because there's a definite influence in terms of culture in football these days. How much it is, in light of Howe's comments there, is interesting to. It would be interesting to ask him that question. When Almiron has the ball, are you wanting to cross it, or are you wanting to go back and go and recycle the ball? What is it you're looking for? Because it was recycled over and over again.
Yeah.
But to be fair, like Eddie Howe, we've got a manager there, whatever you think, who has standards and is honest, and again, we're lucky to have that in a way. There's so many, bluffers in the game, isn't there, who give BS reasons, BS excuses. So I'm always, reminded really of that we're in a good position with Howe, long term for me.
All right. We're gonna end it with some comments real quick before we end the show. Mac debates Wimbledon just wanted a shootout. Yeah, that was part of the game plan. Clarkey, Jeff Hendrick would have brought some flair tonight.
With his
man.
With his hair, maybe.
There you go.
No.
This and that. Need more from the fringe players. Foxy, all about that getting through to the next round. All about getting through the next round. Very controlled performance with a weakened 11. We move on. Credit to Wimbledon for the defensive display.
Chris, how about some good news?
What's up?
Eddie Howe said that Barnes at halftime was planned. There's no issues at all. And Shah's completely fine. He just had a bit of a bang and wanted to take him off.
Good. Okay.
So
good news there.
We guaranteed that they both start on Saturday.
The one thing that's worrying about that, though, is how many of them players that started tonight are pushing to start that didn't start against Man City. Tino didn't, for me, do enough to get ahead of Trippier. Trippier's going to make it.
No, yeah. None of them did.
Do enough to get ahead of Burn.
Not even Longstaff.
No, Longstaff didn't do enough.
And I was saying on the commentary, I don't think Longstaff can buy his way into the team, but I think he could think that. He could say, "I'm going to play. I'm going to do whatever it takes to play." I didn't think he did enough to.
Do you think Wimbledon would take him for next week?
He'll be messy, man. He'll be the yeah, man. He'll be the.
Sorry, that's disrespectful. I take that. That was just.
He'll be on the bench for Wimbledon.
Yeah.
All right. A couple of last comments. Alan Thompson says Wembley. Mighty Mag, Alan, let's do Chelsea over first. Yeah, that's true. How many? Wait, what is it? Chelsea would be what? What stage is that?
That's the last 16 Chelsea game.
Oh, so that's when it gets. That's when it gets good then.
Yeah.
That's when it gets good. JJ, there are no Keith Gillespies in our team. The attack must be so frustrated.
Gordon could do that. If Gordon's on the right, that's how I imagine Gordon to be if he played on the right.
Yep.
Getting the ball out of his feet, using his pace, and putting.
We got another Gillespie though. Not sure he go. We got another Gillespie. I'm not sure he's going to do much.
When he first broke into the Everton team, he played on the right hand side, and he was good on the right.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. Gillespie, the Geordie Oliver Kahn. Magpie Salute says Tonali was a miss. Also, you can still see why Trippier still should start over him, but given it was training exercise, to be honest. Yeah. JJ Roy driving home is like the Chris reaction video road to hell.
Not reaction, Chris
Ria. Brian Quinn, everybody thinks a win's a win. There you go. And last but not least, Beer Viking, Man United won their appeal over Bruno Fernandes. They did. Oh, that is man.
Well, Anyone?
Yeah.
Nah, I thought that was a bit soft though. That Bruno Fernandes one.
That's bad news for Man United because he's been played terrible recently. So.
Yeah, exactly.
'Cause-
All right. And well, last but not least now, Foxy, Miggy did himself no harm at all tonight. We are still in the cup because of him. I'll be honest with you, I was impressed with Miggy, man. I think Miggy and Murphy, it's like they switch good performances, man.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if he starts on Saturday based off that.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably the one that did do himself some favours, yeah.
Yeah, that is true. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for tuning in to the match reaction. Tomorrow we got Hoof the Twat. Roy should be there for that one. And DX, of course.
Gets back in time.
And yeah, because he keeps driving and driving and driving. Yeah, a lot of videos coming up. So stay tuned. A lot of match day videos. So, anyways, thank you so much for your support, and we will see you. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Roy. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Paul, of course. Yeah, we'll see you in the next one, folks. Ciao, ciao.
Hoof
Move the twat.
And hoof the twat. There you go.